Good morning, Buck fans. Happy Sunday. What's going on? I appreciate y'all. As always, click that subscribe button to Bucs Report the Aftermath with my co-host Slick and the Dude. YouTube, Apple Music. What else? We are on everything. Spotify. We're everywhere now. I appreciate y'all for checking in today. Again, welcome to Bucs Report. AJ Turn up in the house. So, y'all already know. Let's just get into this from here on out. If the Bucs want that number one seed, every game is must win now. The NFC is wide open. The NFC has so many competitive teams that we have beaten in the past, like the Seahawks. I wouldn't want the Bucs to see right now. Let's be real. We have got to find a way, if we want to keep pace with being the number one seed, it's imperative that this Bucs team does not lose for the rest of the season. I know that's a lot of pressure, right? But if you want to be number one and you want to be the big dog, you got to play like one. You got to want it more than everybody else. And right now, it's a lot of frustration in the Bucs fan base after last week's loss. Not because we're 6-3. We are aware of overall the Bucs are still in good shape. We are aware that overall the Bucs are still a good team. We're aware of all that. But for Buc fans out there, of course, that want it all. For the Buc fans that want the Bucs to reach their maximum potential, last week was frustrating because we let it get away. Now, I don't give a fuck what the media says. I don't give a shit what a lot of those so-called people on TikTok who think they know ball, but when I ask them what a bear front is and what a jumbo, they can't tell me. They can't elaborate. I'm not worried about those people. The Bucs were still the better team than the Patriots. The difference of that game was that the coaching let the Bucs players down. The coaching put the Bucs players in bad positions. The coaching has been irresponsible when we play the big-time teams. That is why the Bucs lost last week. That is why there is doubt among the media. But that's fine. The Bucs play better when people dismiss us anyway. The point that I'm trying to make, though, and I want everybody to understand, is that for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization, this is another important game. This game can be won. The Bills are a wounded team. The Bills are not what they were last year. They're not even what they were when the Bucs played them in 2023. Josh Allen, overall, still a better quarterback than Baker, but this season, Baker has been outshining Josh Allen. That's just the reality of it. So I just think that the Bucs organization, the Bucs fans, we have got to want more. And this is no major shot at a lot of Bucs fans, but it is, I need to get this off my chest, and I want to explain something. We are in the business with this team of winning a Super Bowl. I don't give a shit about winning the division. That doesn't do it for me. So for you Buc fans out there, well, we were bad in the past, and I'll just accept what we have now. Look how we were. That was then. This is not the 2011 and 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016 Buccaneers. Them days are behind us. Brady Arians came into this Tampa Bay organization and changed the culture for the better. And we still see that to this day. We're out of the shadows of the past of when we were ass. We're done with that. Winning the division don't mean shit anymore. We got that on lock. What we want to do is be more than just a one and done playoff team. What we want to do is be competitive and fight to the last minute. That is what this Bucs team is about. So for you Buck fans out there, winning the division, if that's all that you want, then that's all you're going to get from your team. So don't get upset when you waste talent. There's nothing worse than wasting a team with so much talent and potential. I'd rather have a shitty team with no direction because my expectations won't be set high. But my expectations are high because what did I say last pregame? When they didn't go after anybody in free agency, Grizzard was telling me that he was going to have this offense on lock. Bowles was telling me that this defense is going to be on lock. Jason Light was telling me that help is on the way with a lot of our players coming from injury because they teased us with Bucky and Chris Godwin. To be quite honest, I don't mind that. As important as this game is, we want Bucky and Chris Godwin better in the long run. Let's say if we lose and we lose against the Rams, we still got a very winnable schedule where we can win out in December. I'd rather have Godwin and Bucky back in full form than have them play a game where it's a lot. But if we don't win the number one seed, that doesn't mean we're not going anywhere. When we won our Super Bowl with Tom Brady, we were not the number one seed. And look how that fared for us. We didn't even win the division. So again, y'all, we are here. My expectations is for greatness. That is my expectation. I don't give a shit about anything else of settling. If you want to settle, this is not the right podcast you want to be with. If all you care about is, well, Bowles is just getting us these division wins, ask the Saints how they feel about that. Look at all those years that they had good regular seasons, but when playoff time came, they fell apart. When playoff time came, fluke shit happened to them. When playoff time came, Cam Jordan's sorry ass ain't gonna never touch a ring. Never even sniffed a Super Bowl. That is why you cannot just accept a bullshit division win. You want it all. The Bills won their division in the 90s, and then they got to 4 Super Bowls. I guarantee you they weren't thinking about winning no damn division. They want to win it all. So that's a PSA, and now that's a PSA for a lot of the Buck fans in the community that just want to settle for little shit. This ain't it. This is not the platform for that. If you want to do that, you can go to Joe Bucks fan. Shout out to Joe Bucks fan or Ira Kaufman. I like them. Go to Pewter Report. We're here to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and most importantly, the undisputed truth. We're not here to kiss ass and whatever. Nothing. I'm not saying those other people do, but we are in the business of talking football because we are fans of football first, then our team. Okay? That is the most important thing. When you can separate the two, I have passion for the Bucs, but I have passion and love for the game of football. I love that shit. I can watch other teams. Now, sometimes if the Bucs disgust me, it's hard to watch other teams because I'm going to be too busy evaluating and saying, oh, man, why couldn't we do that? Why couldn't we do what they did when we have the tools? So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is an important game. And now I will get into breaking down the game because I know I just had to get that out there because, again, Buck fans, we're in this for greatness. We are in this to win. And as of right now, the Bucs are not playing to that level. As of right now, we look like a one-and-done playoff team. And at this point, it's not going to be any excuse. I don't want to hear, well, we didn't have Godwin and Evans. Yes, that hurts tremendously. But you still have a Mecca. You have Tez. We have all these weapons. You got to empty the clip, Grizzard. You got to empty the damn clip. Now, let's get into the game. Now, let's start on the offensive side of the ball because that's a really important side as of right now. This is what you have to do, Grizzard. You have to be creative. You have to be innovative. And the most important thing, which is the theme on both sides, but especially for you, you need to be aggressive. You got to know when to put your foot on the gas. You got to know when to swerve in the right section for them cuts. So in this game, you need to utilize the run game. And what I mean by that, the Bills are dead last in run defense. Your offensive line, Bredesen is going to be out. There's no Cody Mock. So where do you think they're going to attack for their run defense? They're going to try to mess up our interior. You have Gedeke and Wirfs. What kind of running backs do you have? With Sean Tucker, I need you to distribute the ball to Sean Tucker through the C and D gap. The C and D gap. And for folks out there who don't know what the C gap is, that is the outside of the tackle, between the tackle and the tight end. The D gap is outside of the tight end. Run to the outside. Sean Tucker is an explosive back. What you don't need to do, Grizzard, I'm talking to you, is run him up the gut. I just explained to you, our interior, our guards, at best, are okay. Go to the outside where you have, basically, you have Tristan Wirfs, an elite tackle. You have Gedeke, a very good right tackle. Attack the outside. Rachaad White is your guy that you want to barrel through the middle. And even with Rachaad White, run him through the C and D gap. You have two explosive running backs that can make that happen. Hey, the Bills like running jumbo set. You can do the same thing. You have a Otten who has been much better at blocking. You have Payne Durham who can block as well. You got to get physical and nasty. Pound the rock. Pounding the rock will set up the play action when they decide to load the box. You still have a Mecca out there. When you get into the passing, you need to utilize a Mecca for the dig routes, for the comeback, for the curl, slants, hitch. If they're going to play zone coverage and cushion off of a Mecca, you have him immediately run a hitch or a comeback or a curl. And if they're going to bracket him, you need to establish crossing routes with Sterling Shepard, with Tez Johnson. As we can see, Tez Johnson is not afraid of contact. Tez Johnson is willing to put his body on the line. And remember, you still have capable running backs that are good in the backfield and short tosses, but just do not be what you have been through most of this season, Grizzard. Is predictable. You've been very predictable. And if you need some help, I got some plays that I drew up that I could design for you if I can find them, because I really want to see. I have to see if it's in here. I don't know if it's in here, fellas, but if you go to my TikTok channel, AJ Turnup, I think the Bucs need to run more mesh. I think the Bucs need to run more trips. I think the Bucs need to attack the middle more often, because it's too many times. If you go back to that Patriots game, the middle was wide open. Remember, the Bills are going to want to, they don't blitz that often. And they don't blitz. So again, the run will help. And take advantage of the middle. Spread them out. You still have more than enough weapons. Get Devin Cope involved. Have Devin Cope in the slot. He's big enough to where a nickel can't contain him. He's fast enough to where a linebacker cannot keep up with him. When you get to the goal line, if you need something to happen, why don't you put Durham to the outside? Put Otten to the outside. Put Culp again in the slot. That's football thinking. You need to do things that this defense doesn't expect. If I know what you're doing, Grizzard, at the comfort of my home or the comfort of a bar, do you not see that is not a red flag? You have got to be explosive. Take advantage of this defense. The Bills have a pretty good defense when it comes to pass defense. Run defense, I just told you, they're dead last. Dead last. Let's look at more. Let's look more. I got my research on them because I reviewed them. I studied them. Again, they run a 4-3 base defense, but a 4-2-5 defense. If you don't know what that is, a 4-2-5 is 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs. Take advantage. Again, I want to see Tez Johnson running skinny post. I want to see him do some digs. Hell, get him to do out routes. Get Baker into rollouts. Rollouts. When it's third and short, you need to design plays that takes maybe 2 to 3 seconds to get off. That 4th and 3, well, 3rd and 3 against the Patriots, you should have ran the ball. But on the 4th and 3, why are you trying to design a play that takes too long to develop? Grizzard, you have got to learn how to manage shit. Rotate the running backs. If the run game is effective, rotate them bad boys. If you see Sean Tucker get 2 straight carries and he gets 4 to 5 yards on each down, let's bring in Rachaad White for the short yardage, or that's where the rollouts will come in handy. Baker is a magician on the rollouts. So offensively, you have to be creative, Grizzard. You simply cannot be predictable. This is a team that is going to be pissed off because of the embarrassing loss that they had against the Dolphins. So don't be shocked if the Bills play more man press coverage. Don't be shocked if they get a little more aggressive with blitzing. They only blitz 18%, which is low. It is low. But don't be shocked if this team comes out with a little more fire under their asses after that loss. They're at home. They're 5.5 favorites. A lot of people do not expect the Bucs to win this game. And they could be right on this. Prove them wrong. So take advantage of this defense. And you should be able to run it up the gut too with Rachaad White. Why? Because Oliver is out. That's one of their key defensive tackles. He's gone. So this is a game where you pound the fucking rock. Pound the rock to set up the passes. When you do the passes, take what the defense gives. If they play zone coverages, make them pay with the digs and the slants and the crossing routes. That's how you make them pay. Now, let's navigate to the defensive side of the ball for Bowles. You already know where I'm going with this, Bowles. You already know. If anybody on here knows me, you know what I'm going to say. Aggressive man press coverage, people, because I'm sick of people coming on my lives and feeds. Well, he did play man. No. I didn't say man and running with the motherfucker. I mean, hands need to be up in his chest. Slap box the receivers on the line of scrimmage. Man press coverage and jamming receivers is not about fully dominating the wide receiver. It's about disrupting timing between the quarterback and his wide receiver. When you disrupt timing, that 1 extra second is where the Bucs can get a strip sack. That 1 extra second is where Josh Allen might think he sees something open, but because of the pressure, he doesn't realize, oh, Winfield is in the box. Oh, Jacob Parrish dropped back into coverage. Interception. Bowles, you cannot. You should have learned your lesson already on that 3rd and 4 against the Patriots when Zion got burnt. You had no business playing him 7 to 10 yards off of him. At most, it should have been 5 to 7 yards. That's it. Bowles, talk to your, and this is for the Bucs players, gap integrity, contain. Do not have them run all over you. I get it. The Stevenson thing was an anomaly. You typically have a good run defense, but for the players out there on the field, do your fucking job. And this is strict. This is one specifically to Savassier. Get your shit together. You have the potential, but you need to hone in on your coverage skills. Now, Bowles, utilize your players. As we know, Savassier is explosive running through the A and B gap. How about you have him blitz through those gaps? How about you switch it up? How about you bring Tyke Smith down in the box and make him think he's going to blitz, and then he backs up, and it's Jacob Parrish that's going for the blitz. But if you're going to do this, Bowles, you got to play more man press coverage. Their best receiver right now is Khalil Shakir, 457 yards and 3 touchdowns. That ain't shit. So they don't have any, and him and Coleman, their connection is on and off. The first order of business, again, is James Cook. He has 920 yards, 7 touchdowns. How about we don't be the team that gives him 1,000 yards? How about that? How about we need to keep him under at least 60 yards? And you have the tools to do that. But again, you need to play more aggressive, Bowles. You can't be sitting back waiting anymore. Stop trying to play chess so bad that you end up hurting this team. We're bending backwards and eventually we break. Do you understand that, Bowles? You have got to find a way to get out of your ego. I have a saying that I want to give to you, Bowles. You have to know your Jimmies and Joes in order to execute your X's and O's. You have to know your Jimmies and Joes in order to execute your X's and O's. Benjamin Morrison, Dean, even Zion, they're better man press corners than zone. You don't have the pass rush, Bowles. JPP and Shaq Barrett are not here, bro. Ndamukong Suh is not here anymore. Levante is getting a little older. You can't do what you did 5 years ago. Them days is gone. You have to utilize the best abilities of your players. Stop relying on your scheme so much because this team is going to be hungry. Josh Allen, order of business. You got to get pressure on him. Again, make it happen. And speaking of making things happen, we got a special guest we're going to bring on here. He's a part of the Bucs family as well, a passionate individual. He wants the Bucs to win just like I do. He keeps it real. He talks about how things were. He even predicted last season that our offense was going to, and this season, that the offense has to do their job in order for this defense to be better. So with no further ado, let's bring up our special guest, Louis. What's going on with you, Louis? What's up?
What's up? You hear me all right?
I can hear you, bro.
All right, good. Because I'm working out these new microphones that I got, the ones that you clip on and stuff, because Apple's doing a fantastic job of holding my laptop hostage right now, unfortunately. I don't even want to get into it. It's so a laptop 4 months old shit bet on me. Crazy.
Yeah. All I know, that hat is fire. That hat is fire.
Oh, thank you. Reverse Brand. Shout out to them guys. Yeah. Reverse Brand. They I think they do it for all the cities. They do it for Boston. They do it for Tampa.
Have to get that hat.
Yeah, Reverse Brand. Yeah, they're dope. They got some cool stuff, man. There's a lot of cool stuff, man, out there. But speaking of cool stuff, big game for the Buccaneers. This is make or break right now, man. And I've been talking about this. A lot of people out there know. Carolina is right behind us, man. If we lose this game and Carolina wins today, that's not good. And we have a couple of games ahead against the Rams. That's going to be a tough one in LA. But the Buccaneers got to win this game. And I agreed with a lot of the things that you were saying. Tampa's just got to go out there and shut down James Cook. They have to shut down Josh Allen, force him to throw the football, disturb him. But the problem is he can scramble, But I have good faith that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win this game. I have this feeling. I know a lot of people are down on the Buccaneers right now, and I can understand. But I like the way they've been playing defense, but they need to correct some things. And I talked about this last week. I don't think it comes down to players. I think this comes down to coaching. The scheme needs to be better. You had, for an example, that game against the Patriots, in which I predicted before the season started, I said, hey, the Bucs, let's not take away the credit from the New England Patriots. They are playing very good football, man. Mike Vrabel, at times, I hate to say this, but sometimes I kind of wish Todd Bowles was like that in the huddle, guy, getting in people's faces like that. I like that. I like Coach Vrabel. He's got those boys playing. And I predicted the Patriots to upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a game that I looked at. I was like, I don't know if I like this game. And I wanted to be wrong about it, but unfortunately, the Bucs lost. And they didn't lose because of personnel. And I hate when people are saying the injuries. Listen, this team has plenty of depth. Next man up. And they've proven that. They've proven that in the beginning of the season. So what happened from the beginning to now? Schemes, coaching. Tyke Smith intercepted Drake May in the end zone. Coach Grizzard, I don't know what he was thinking with some of those play calls, but they just didn't get it done. And they need to reevaluate themselves, and I hope they did that throughout that loss against the Patriots. You had 2 weeks to prepare for that game.
That's right.
2 weeks to prepare for that game. And the Patriots aren't doing anything fancy. You know, they're just it's frustrating to watch this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Last week's game against the Patriots, they started off damn good, and then they lost an identity. What does that come down to? Schemes and coaching.
That's right. You are 100% right on that, because oh man, Louis, I'm glad you got a lot of casual ass Patriot fans that came in my lives on TikTok saying, "Oh, we put belt to ass to the Bucs. We are just a far better team." I'm sitting back like, wait a minute. Are we watching the same football game? Do you comprehend what happened, Louis? And this is me saying this from a football perspective, not a fan, but the Bucs did everything in their power to give this team, the Patriots, the game. The Patriots never dominated the Bucs. If you take away those, honestly, those anomaly run plays, the Patriots lose.
Yeah,
they will lose.
So those same fans that come into your life that were Patriot fans that come into your life that are saying those things are the same Patriot fans that weren't around last year, that weren't around the year before, The Patriots haven't won anything since Brady has left. Those are the same fans that are the ones that are talking and pounding their chest now. And, you know, and I can say that because I live out here. It was dead silence for Patriots talk for a long time out here. Now, you know, I'm the one that I didn't start it, but I did say, hey, look, because a lot of Patriot fans were like, oh, Mike Vrabel, I don't know. I like the hire, but they're still going to suck. I'm like, no, you guys are having a really good free agency. You're building the way you're supposed to build. And now all of a sudden, the Patriots are the greatest team in the world again. And we diehard fans. No, you're not. Sit down, shut your mouth. Just enjoy what you're watching.
Sit down and shut your mouth. I love that you say that, because I've asked them, where was this energy for 3 straight years? And even with this team now, they're going to be a first round loss, because what they're doing, they're not going to be able to sustain that against teams like the Chiefs or Denver, because they rely on, and a lot of Patriot fans didn't even know how their team wins. I'm like, they grind things out. If you get up double digits on this Patriots team, like the Bucs should have, the Patriots are not built for comebacks. They're built to grind you out. That's a Mike Vrabel mentality. So that's why, if the Bucs, like you said, where was the energy after that first drive when they scored with the Mecca? Oh yeah, Louis. Oh, people was pissed off because they thought Gonzo was just going to completely shut a Mecca down. I'm like, how'd that turn out? Well, he didn't do this. I'm like, he did. And last time I checked, Louis, shutdown corners stay on the best receiver. So you're telling me when he let him off, that means they didn't have faith in him.
You know what's crazy about Christian Gonzalez is that Patriot fans were talking about trading him because he can't stay on the field.
Ooh,
and now all of a sudden I'm not joking. 98.5 The Hub is a sports media station out here. 2 ass clowns, if you ask me. I actually called in and tried to talk to them about Buccaneers Patriots, and they said they didn't want to hear about Buccaneers. Well, we're playing you guys this week. That was my whole thing. And I talked about Jason White, how you built through the draft, because they were all butthurt because they didn't do anything at the trade deadline. That's neither here or there. But yeah, man, I for the Buffalo Bills, and I get why Buccaneer fans are a little on the edge. I get it. They're a good team, but, you know, right now they're not so hot. And do I think the Buccaneers are a better team than them? I think we're pretty much evenly matched with the Bills. Yes. I think the Buccaneers can pull this out as long as the firing squad shows up. That's a little nickname I've given Levante David and Tyke Smith. That's our firing squad, man. And this is going to be a big matchup for the Buccaneers. They cannot lose this game, AJ. They can't.
No.
Well, if they lose this game, they're in big trouble. They cannot lose this game.
You're right. If they lose this game, at this point, they lose this game and the Rams game, now you just have to worry about winning your division.
Right.
And you have to win one of these games because, like you said, you win this game and lose to the Rams, and it's a close game. No harm, no foul.
They
It
still ahead
happens.
of game.
It's still ahead. But if you lose this game, that means they would have to throw everything they have in the fucking arsenal to beat the
Yep.
Rams because you can't
Absolutely.
go 0-3. You can't go 0-3. You can't.
No. And the Rams, believe it or not, I think they're one of the scariest teams out of the NFC. A lot of
Agree
people are not talking
100%.
about they're good, man. They're very good. And it's like I
Yep.
said, right now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to go into Buffalo. And I think the aura with Buck fans, they're just scared. Oh, we're going into Buffalo. It's cold. So what? We went into Lambeau in an NFC championship game and won. And yes, I get it. We had Brady, we had Mike, and I get it. But Emeka can do this. Tez can do this. I still believe in Sterling Shepard. I'm still waiting for Rashad White to wake up and have some explosive runs. I don't even think Coach Grizzard is using. In my opinion, I don't like the play calling for Rashad White. He is a pass catching running back.
Yes.
Let's utilize that. A couple of years ago, people seem to forget this. This man, I think he was second behind Christian McCaffrey for what was it? Most yards after contact. Why did we move away?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why did we move away from that?
Yeah.
Why don't we utilize
they
him to his strengths?
Yeah, I agree, Louis. I just think that Grizzard is a little in over his head because you have to be a situational individual. You have to know when to utilize your talent. Like you said, today, pound the fucking rock. Sean Tucker, C and D gap. Because one, you have Wirfs, you have Gedeke. The outside line is our strength. It's the inside. The guards are going to be the suspect. So don't be surprised if they load up the box in the middle. Go to the outside. Sean Tucker is explosive. Rashad White, if you want to, you got to use somebody as a battering ram. Use him. Rotate your running backs. I agree. Shit, if you and then you gotta do things, Louis, that defenses go, what the fuck is this? You know what I would do to be really scary? I would put Sean Tucker in the backfield and I'd move Rashad White into the slot.
Yeah, you could do that. I've seen it done.
And you could and all he needs to do is run a shallow crossing route, or you have him go do an outside or do an out route because they're not going to anticipate that. Now and then you can run the ball because they might say shift over to him and then you could take off. This is the type of things that he has to do. If you and I, Louis, can predict what Grizzard is doing and we're sitting in the comforts of our home or a bar, that's a fucking problem. That's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And I'm not saying, hey, you're not taking a complete crap in the coaching, you know, and I get it. Like, and I don't want to use the injuries as an excuse, but not having Chris, not having Mike, not even having Jalen McMillan, who I predicted to be a serious threat out of the slot. Not having those three guys and Bucky Irvin, I get it. It makes things difficult, but we've been doing this since the beginning of the season. Why did it work then? Now it's not working now. You know what I'm saying? Something needs to change. This Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, to me, AJ, they need to really pull out a win here. They need to grind the football. It's about time of possession. Keep the Bills defense on the field. You want to keep Josh Allen off the field as much as possible. You have to get out of Buffalo with a win. You get a win in Buffalo, the morale of the team and that confidence level is huge because that's a big win. Buffalo is, to me, Buffalo is not a hammy win. They're not a bad team. They're a very good team. They just have some issues like we have issues. And right now, both teams are lacking confidence and they don't have an identity. And I think this is a good opportunity for Coach Bowles, Coach Grizzard to kind of rebound from last week and basically go into Buffalo and win this game. And it doesn't have to be pretty. I don't care if it's 7-0. Just walk out of Buffalo. Just walk out of Buffalo with a win. They have to string some victories now because even a lot of people are saying, well, you know, the end of the season is a lot easier for us. No, it's not. You still have me and you both know this. Division games, you can throw records out the window. Division games are division games, and those are the most toughest games on the schedule, unless you absolutely suck. But even you take a look at that game with the Saints, that was a little bit competitive in the first half, and then we kind of ran away with it.
Yes.
But you're looking at the Carolina Panthers. Every time we play the Panthers, I tip my hat off to them. They fight, and they fight to the end. And Canales has something to prove against us as well. And to play the Carolina Panthers twice in the last 3 weeks of the season, those are not give me games. That's why I say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to really string some wins up. Just get into the postseason, because once we get into the postseason, we'll have Mike back, hopefully. Chris Godwin, hopefully, will be back. Bucky will be back. We'll start to see what this team was supposed to look like in the beginning of the season. Because honestly,
I'm with you. I'm with you, bro. I think
have to
that's
get
the
in.
thing. If you win early, now you also can reserve your guys who are playing now, and this is getting Tez Johnson experience. So let's go to the best case scenario, Louis. What if we do win this game? We lose to the Rams, but then in our next stretch, let's say at best we're 13-4 or 12 or 13-4 or 13-4. But then McMillan was back. McMillan returns like the last 2 games of the season. Evans comes back the last game. Godwin is getting back in his flow. Now you go in, you got healthy people. And remember this, Louis, there's a player, if we go deep into the playoffs, like maybe the NFC Championship, he has a legitimate chance of returning, and that's Kancey. Can you imagine if Kancey comes back? His presence alone, you're going to have to game plan for him. So you're right, Louis. If you win this game, it actually makes the game against the Rams. It puts you at ease more, because now, okay, we went to Buffalo against the Bills Mafia. LA is not a true dominant home. They're not a football town like that. So you win this
game, don't show up for them
today, like you said, Louis. You can go into LA and go, you know what? We're not scared of you. We're not scared. Right. And mind you, the good thing is, Louis, we have yet to lose back-to-back games this season. Typically, when we lose a game, we come out strong. When we lost against the Eagles, the Seahawks, everybody thought we were going to lose this song. We beat them.
Yeah.
We lose against Detroit now. Nobody really thought the Saints were going to beat the Bucs. So I will say that. But the Bucs, at this point, don't suffer back-to-back losses. And another thing, Louis, Bowles cannot slip into that fucking sputter he does. He hasn't done it so far this season. You know what I'm talking about. His first 2 years, we on a 3-game or 4-game losing streak, and then he wants to clean it up. We cannot do that this year.
Right.
Like you said, Louis, we still have a chance for the number 1 spot. If we win today and the Rams lose,
open.
It's still open. And look, here's the funny thing, you guys out there, Buck fans. If the Rams lose, if the Eagles lose, these are all very possible. Philly's going against Detroit. That's not a gimme. They can lose there.
That's a tough game.
They can lose. So if they lose and we win, Louis, like you said, now we're 7-3. Shit is looking a lot more interesting. The NFC is going to get even more competitive.
Absolutely. And the thing is too, AJ, I think a lot of the time Buck fans tend to get ahead of themselves a little bit. Like when Baker was playing lights out, and what's the one thing I always say? I'm a diehard Bucs fan, but I'm a football realist. When everybody was going crazy about Baker, MVP, I'm like, why are we talking about MVP? First of all, it's only the first 6 weeks of the season. Yes, Baker is playing phenomenal, but we got to pump the brakes on that, because that's not really important right now, and anything can happen. And now we have seen what has happened, And you're right. This is a known fact. It's not a secret. We go through this with Todd Bowles all the time, every year. That 2 to 3 game losing streak, sometimes even 4. It's tough. It's tough to be a Bucs fan. But my whole thing is just get a win in Buffalo. Even if you lose in Buffalo, you have to win. You have to win one of these 2 games. You have to win against the Rams, or you have to win against Buffalo. You kind of have to pick and choose. Interesting statistic: the Buffalo Bills are 4-1 at home. The Buccaneers are 4-1 on the road. So that's an interesting statistic there. And again, this is a winnable game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ibuka's got to step up. I mean, not Ibuka. I'm sorry. I think Sterling Shepard needs to step up because, with Mike being out and Chris being out, Ibuka is getting a lot of the coverage going his way. And, Tez can only do so much, Excuse me. Sterling Shepard is a guy that I'm going to keep a close eye on. Another guy I want to keep a close eye on because I watched the All-22 last week 2 times. Savassier Dennis you need to step up big time. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's out of his element. Maybe we talked about this a couple years ago with Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. Maybe you're in the wrong system. But I think the way you fix the Savasier Dennis problem, I think you got to start sending him on blitzes. Something. Because it's not working. And there's times where he shines, and there's just times it's just like, what are you doing?
Agreed.
Like, it's horrible.
Agreed. And you know what? Move him around a little bit.
Yes.
If you want to do this, put him on the edge and see what happens. This is what we're talking about. Creativity, Bowles. Hey, how about this? Nelson blitzes up the middle, or put him on another side and confuse the defense where Savasier is going to blitz. Yeah. You have to utilize your weapons. And if you're going to help out Savasier, maybe give him this little assignment. If you're going to be in coverage, Savasier, all I want you to do is look at the middle. I just want you to be right here. Do not worry. And then if you need to help him out, drop Winfield a little bit into the box to say, hey, if he gets beat to the outside, Winfield, your job is to help him out. Yeah, we gotta stop getting shredded in the middle, Louis. That is one of the biggest bugs. They get shredded in the middle like crazy.
It could be 3rd and 16, and the team will get a first down because they throw a dime right down the middle. And I'm sick and tired of seeing that. That's one thing. That's something that hasn't gone away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that needs to stop. But again, I still like the way our defense is playing. Our defense is kind of it's kind of messed up to say, but last year, what did I say, AJ? You gave me my flowers for this. I said the offense was going to carry the defense, and then this year I'm saying, well, I feel like the defense is going to have to carry the offense because of the injuries. And that was one thing I said at the beginning of the preseason. I said I think the Buccaneers go 13-4.
Yep, you did.
Outside, I said the only way the Buccaneers lose is because of injuries. And the amount of injuries. And going back to that game against the Patriots, I was talking with a Patriots fan. He's like, oh, we smoked you guys. I said, you didn't smoke us. And I get it. The last touchdown for the Bucs was kind of like a garbage time touchdown. I said, look.
Garbage?
You guys should have beat us. I would expect you guys to beat us when you have 3 of your starting wide receivers gone, your starting running back out, and you're relying on 2 rookies, a 1st-round pick and a 7th-round pick, and an agent Sterling Shepard to beat you guys. You know, I would expect you guys to pull a victory out. And if you didn't, you know, then that just shows that the Bucs are one of the greatest teams in the NFL to do so, because that's a tough task to do. And they're in survival mode on offense. That's the way it looks to me. They're in survival mode. You know, you can't really get too creative. I mean, you can, but it's just like it comes at a cost, because a lot of these guys, there's a reason why they're 5th and 6th string receivers and practice squad guys. You know, what I'm kind of confused about too is, where's Cam Johnson? I want to see more of Cam Johnson.
Where's Devin Culp? Where's Devin Culp?
Yeah. Well, the reason why they don't have Devin Culp out there, and I understand, and I kind of did a deep dive on this, Daniel Morales and myself, it's just because they were thin at. I think you're going to see more of Culp. Believe it or not, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Culp more today. I think it's because the offensive line was so banged up. Like with Cade Otton, you didn't see Cade catching catches too much. Cade catching passes. Try saying that 3 times fast. Catching passes because where was our blocking? Our offensive line was diminished. You know what I'm saying? Cody Mauch. A lot of people had some negative things to say about Cody Mauch, and I bet you a lot of those people would wish Cody Mauch was back on that line. You know, you see it. You know,
he brung the nastiness. He brung nastiness, and now, like you said with Culp, if I'm the Bucs, if you run a spread, how about you have 3 tight ends out there? Durham, you have Otton and Culp. Now, when you're at the goal line, don't throw a fucking fade to Sterling Shepard. Throw a fade to either Otton or Payne Durham. Payne Durham is 6'7". Make it happen. You can also do a play where if he's on the line, Durham.
He's got some pretty decent speed too.
Yeah, Otton can do a quick block and then a rollout, and he's right there, like a boom. And then you can use Devin Culp the way that Brady used Gronkowski and some of those motions.
Yeah.
It's a lot that this Bucs team have. You said it. You still have more than enough. And I just got news that Coleman is going to be out for the Bills.
Yeah.
That's a major blow to their team because now they don't have that explosiveness player. And mind you, Coleman was a hit or miss with Josh Allen anyway. So now you have no excuse. Louis, I do think that the Bucs are going to win, but do I think they're going to give us headaches because Bowles is going to be stubborn with this cushion coverage? Yes. So I want to give you the final say. What is your prediction score? And two players, one on offense and on defense, who's gonna shine today?
That's tough, man, because like I said, I don't. This is a tough game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But this is what I fully expect. I expect a lot of aggravation. I expect myself, including you and all our passionate Buck fans, yelling at the TV or wherever you're watching the game. This is not going to be a pretty game. I will say this. I expect Tyke Smith to ignite a fire in that defense early on, as he always does. I'm going to predict that the defense gets a pick 6 in this game. And I think the defense, I'm going to predict they're going to get a turnover in this game, and it's going to change the complexity of the game. I think the defense knows that our offense is stalling. We need to score points. We need to help our offense more. The thing with the Patriots was those 3 big plays that they gave up. We'll never know why that happened. I just think that the Bucs were defeated, but I don't think – I'm going to say – see, I know I'm all over the place right now. It's just – because I don't like the way that Patriots game ended up. I really don't. That kind of still bothers me because that should have been a win for us. Tyke Smith on defense to come up big. On offense, I'm gonna say Rachaad White has a really big game running the football, and I'm gonna say 23-17. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers leave Buffalo with a victory, 23-17.
All right,
I think
my man.
Baker does enough.
Appreciate you, Louis. Tell everybody where they can find you and if you got anything upcoming, please.
So normally I do a post-game show right after the game, but I don't know. I'm going to still try to manage that with what I got. So I'm recording off my iPhone right now. I'm going to try and do that. Shout out to Apple, you assholes, for it's going to be do the voice, AJ. They told me 3 to 5 days, your computer will be fixed. Yeah. It's bullshit. So shout out to Apple for that. But yeah, man, the Frozen Pirate podcast, we go live every Wednesday night. We do Around the NFL. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. And actually, I have a show coming up with Bucs Report, Saturday night kickoff pretty soon. Trying to get all the details worked out, trying to get everything, backgrounds, all that stuff going. So there's a lot of cool stuff to look out for. But yeah, I'm going to try and do the post-game show. Maybe I'll just join Slick. I don't know. Like I said, shout out to Apple. Thanks for sticking it to me. I appreciate it with the laptop. But yeah, man, it was a good time coming on here, man. I appreciate you having me on. And
of course, bro. And that hat is again fire. I need y'all to go check out Louis and that shirt and that jersey. 6. There it is.
Baker Mayfield. Let's go.
Make it happen. All right. Take care of yourself, bro.
Peace. You too, brother. Peace.
Again, guys, shout out to Louis for coming up here. Again, we know ball. We are fans of the game first, then our team. Now, as for me, I have the Bucs. The Bucs are going to give us the Bucs are, of course, going to give us a migraine. So be expected. If I were you right now, guys, I'd go in there lit already. I do think this will be a battle. I do think that the Bucs are going to get up a little early, but then somehow, some way, they're going to fight their way back in. I do think I actually see Tez Johnson having a spectacular game today. I see Tez Johnson getting between 60 to 75 yards, but a touchdown. I see Tucker getting a rushing touchdown, and I see this defense getting 3 sacks. And on defense, I see the hero of the day actually being Vita Vea, disrupting. I see him being a main reason why they cannot run the ball. And I see him getting a sack. I got the Bucs winning 21, Bucs, Bills 17. So I appreciate you guys for checking out Bucs Report pregame. Check out Bucs Report The Aftermath, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube TV with my co-host Slick and the Dude. You can check me out on TikTok, AJ Turnup, AJ_Turnup. For people out there who can't find me, AJ_Turnup, TURNUP, AJ Turnup on TikTok. I'm going to go live after the game. Twitter, it's the same thing. My YouTube channel, it's about bucking time. I appreciate you all out there. Let's get this win. Get your shit together, Grizzard. Bowles, man up, and go Bucs.